What is your shirt for?
You didn't
Max
see
Fun
that?
Drive
You not
2020.
get one of these?
No.
You didn't get a Max Fun Drive 2020 shirt in the mail?
No.
What?
And
Check
now it's
your
on the
mail.
live stream, so
Yeah.
everyone will know. I never received one.
Hal,
Oh,
send me
never
that link
received one.
while we both are incredulous at our lack of shirts.
I mean,
Well-
look, Ken, of the two of us, one of us
which one
should
is the-
definitely have a shirt.
I would have hung it up.
Hal only wears promotional shirts.
Yeah.
I do.
You're literally wearing one right now.
I am literally wearing one
Hal
right now. For
is
the Throwing Adventure
exactly
Hour,
exactly the market for that shirt.
Yeah,
and that did happen.
the cast member is the market for the shirt. You know what? It's like wearing a show shirt. Did I tell you about the blanket that I made?
No.
Oh
You made
man.
a blanket out of shit. Like high school show shirts?
Like everything. So my mom sent me, I had all
yeah,
the
it's a
shirts that
thing,
I'd just
right?
been collecting. Yeah, I'd been collecting over the years, and then when I was back home, I grabbed what was left of them, and it's insane how quickly they rack up. Like I had to get a king size, and I still had to still pull shirts out of it because I think I had 60 shirts.
From
which is-
shows you've done?
Well, not just shows, but like every promotional shirt or like souvenir t-shirts was the thing. So like
Okay.
my Pride Parade shirt that I got, my Obama shirt that I got in 08 when he ran, my Portugal shirt that I got from meeting the Portuguese ambassador, which I still maintain is the reason why certain countries get super famous for
What?
travel.
Why?
Do you know about this?
No.
Okay, so there's this thing called I think it's called Embassy Days in DC, and what they do is they pick a different continent each year, and all of those embassies open up their doors and do like cultural exchange, and like they have like dancers and food and all kinds of stuff from their different countries. Well, do you remember a few years ago when everybody was going to Croatia for vacation?
Sure don't.
It was
That sounds
like
made
the
up.
it was like the hot place to go.
You don't remember that Croatian summer?
No, seriously,
The
like
Croatian sensation.
a country will become famous for its international travel, like, and become like a fad thing. And I
You
always
were so
wondered
much
how
more
that-
hooked into this.
I wonder. Well, my sister lives in DC and knows all this stuff. So we went to Embassy Days, and apparently that was how, aside from Game of Thrones being shot there, that was how Croatia got so much tourism. Was their Embassy Days party that they threw was better than everyone else's. So a few years ago, I went to the Embassy Days for Europe. They did Europe again, and it was Portugal that threw this epic Portugal party. And then suddenly Portugal is the hot vacation spot that everybody wants to go to. It's crazy how like that's a thing. Like their boards of tourism put them together as like a showcase for their countries. Yeah, like Portugal wasn't on anyone in my family's radar, but since that thing, like I haven't gone yet. My brother went and my mom went. Like everybody loves Portugal.
Everybody
my mom's
loves
first trip to
Portugal.
Europe. It was my mom's first
Yeah.
trip to Europe, and it was from that, which I thought was pretty cool.
Wow.
That was
That's
awesome.
amazing.
Do we have people watching? Do we have questions?
Is anybody
Well,
out
we do.
there?
We do have topics.
Great.
We do. We
Is
do have
anyone,
topics
Mark,
ready to go.
anyone watching?
I just tweeted about it.
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
retweet,
Retweet at Mark.
Oh man, I just kicked my phone too hard. Okay.
Why is your phone on the floor?
Because my desk is full. Look, by the way, you and I probably have a very different idea of what is a full desk.
Oh,
Because mine has a remote control, a pad of paper, a mask, of course, because there's masks everywhere now. My laptop and an external computer or an external keyboard and my mic.
Hal saw it. I told Hal
That's full.
I organized and removed some of the clutter from my desk. He saw what that looked like the other night.
Wait, you did? Is it this desk
first of
that I'm
all,
currently sitting in front of?
It's the reverse view. So it'd be like where if you were sitting there looking at your desk. Here's the first thing I noticed.
God.
How like for a normal desk, how many computer mice would you need? This is a very
one.
simple question. Yeah, don't overthink it. One, that's
Yeah.
correct.
How many
How many-
computer mice do you have?
I saw two. I bet you there are more.
It's just two. I have two
Uh-huh.
systems but I
Oh,
share
they're
a
not
mouse
computers,
with
they're systems.
I share
Yeah.
a mouse. I share a mouse with one of them. But if the sharing goes down, I have the ability to go to the hardwired mouse to don't
and
judge.
he shares
I don't
the
keep my
system
phone on the
with a
floor.
mouse. All right, what am I tweeting? Where's Twitter? How do I do this? Hold on.
It's like
Grandpa's-
Facebook but smaller.
Oh, I don't use Facebook.
I feel like people are learning
Oh,
so much
hey,
about
Stevie
the promotion
Jackson.
of the
Yes,
show.
do you have people watching? Oh, good. Hi, Stevie.
Great.
All right.
You still have to tweet.
All right. I am tweeting.
All right, I believe you.
Oh, the picture of me? YouTube just had me flashing my shirt as the picture.
Yeah.
All right.
That's pretty cool, that shirt. Well, I saw people talking about it because there's a secret group on Facebook for Max Fun hosts and producers. You would
Wait,
not
what?
know about it. Yeah.
I don't
and
know.
somebody was like,
about this.
I got my t-shirt, and I was like, you got your t-shirt? There are t-shirts? I had no idea.
Turns out.
I remember an email going out about t-shirt sizes, and I remember responding, but I do not think I ever received a t-shirt. So
Hal, you
Max Fun
really
people,
should
if you're
get-
watching, I didn't get one.
You should
So-
get better
look,
at email.
This
Hey,
one is almost
Hal.
done.
At least you got the email. I didn't get an email.
Do you want me to send
Well,
you an email, Ken?
I guess it's just on-air talent.
But what is air
Wow.
anymore, really?
I'm
It's
glad
like
we're
Twitter.
using-
Yeah.
Thank
We're
you
currently
for
shooting
promoting
this
us.
show in the Today Show and Saturday Night Live studio. Oh man, have you guys watched the Today Show at all since they're all doing it from home?
No.
I hope they are recording Zoom conversations and posting them. Otherwise, one of them had a beer at 8:00 this morning. And I was like,
I mean,
you know what?
I've seen those hosts, they had a beer. If they can have wine at what is it, the 10 a.m.? Is it the 10 a.m. hour?
guess
What
that's
was the
true.
one that
The 10 a.m. hour
Kathy
with
Lee and
Hoda
Hoda.
and Kathy.
Yeah.
Lee.
If they could have the wine then, you could start the day with beer, right?
I mean, I start the
Is that
day
a
with
thing?
beer more often than I should.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
the Mel Gibson and Lethal Weapon breakfast, where it's like
Yeah.
I just got a cigarette hanging out, mostly ash. I drink a beer, I urinate into the sand, and then my dog goes and chases after a dead body. Who knows?
Who
It's
knows?
Lethal Weapon.
I just remember that Johnny Cash lyric. And the beer I had for breakfast wasn't bad, so I had one more for dessert. It's a great lyric. It's actually not. It's a Christopherson lyric. That's the one that he landed.
that
the
goes out to Eric
helicopter on Johnny
Edelstein.
Cash on. Yeah, it was that song.
Wow.
So do you want to welcome everyone to this live We Got This, guys?
Yes. Hi everybody.
I was
Now that
about
it's
to.
now that it's 5:15.
Yeah.
Hi everybody. So let's take some topics. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's get into this clean slate.
Great.
That's your welcome. This is look, if you're watching, if you got here because it's a public link, you're like, who are these three guys?
Mhm.
We host a podcast called We Got This, where we settle debates between you and your friend, the really important things in life. And these are all topics that are small, too small for a whole episode. We're
Right.
going to jam them all in together. We're going to clean the slate. And Ken, our
We say
producer,
that we never clean the slate entirely. There's 300
Yeah.
topics on the slate. But anyway, Ken, the producer.
yeah,
So our first
Extreme
topic comes
couponing,
from
Nerd Edition.
our Facebook group. Hold on, I got an order to finish. From our Facebook group from Kay Bliss,
Hi, K Bliss.
Okay.
and it is I'm gonna expand this out a little bit, but it's donuts. She specifies cream filled. I'm gonna say just filled or not filled. So cream, jelly, whatever filling or no filling.
Okay. I don't know. We could get artistic about it and talk about the proper uses of negative space, but something about Boston cream just makes me happy.
Here's the problem with a filled donut is like you have to eat it a certain way to be able to fully enjoy it. And that is you got to find the little hole, which is where they insert the filling.
Mhm.
And that has to be the end you start with. Otherwise the filling shoots out and then it's gone.
And then
And
you
that I
just have a doughy powdered sugar purse.
It's weird to have a handheld food. And I know you don't like take a sandwich and go "Rub, rub, 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 rub," and eat through the middle that way, but
Mhm.
there's you have to eat this on one end
You
or else you're
don't.
going to lose it. Right?
Yeah,
You
well,
can
I
say that
think
about any like a hot dog, you turn it that way, the hot dog falls out. But
I feel like
there's something to-
frequently a burrito is only sealed on one end. You know what I
Only
mean? Like
properly.
sometimes you'll see a burrito where
Gets too
it's
wet.
like They're like, yeah, you only need one end to really be sealed. There's also something I think about. Look, this is tough because I really do I love a jelly donut and I love a Boston cream. Boston cream is the Bavarian is the whipped cream. Boston is the one that's like pudding, right?
Yes.
Okay. Leave that Bavarian cream at the door. But I love a Boston cream. That said, frequently, especially like when someone at work brings in a dozen donuts, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't split the jelly donut. I'll be the guy who grabs the plastic knife and cuts a donut in half, and I'll just eat a half a donut.
Right.
Now, most of the time I will go back in 5 minutes and grab the other half of the donut. But my idea initially is I'm only going to eat half of one. You can't split a filled donut. Is that worth, is that like, how much value does that have in the debate though? You know what I mean?
I don't think it's that valuable, right? It's like, which is better? And like a good donut, like I don't want to look, I love you. And beyond this, at some point, we'll get to a place where
are you talking to
again.
Bliss or me or Ken?
Yes.
Great.
We'll get to a point where we could share a dish of food. Like if we went out to dinner, we both had something that the other one, we could give each other a taste. It's natural. Right. But like who split? Like I don't want to split a donut.
I split donuts all the time. Big. How I just want a half a donut. What if somebody brings a dozen donuts and you want to try 2 different flavors of donut?
Well, that's different.
Then you get a buddy and you're like, why don't we split these?
Yeah, that's or you get a box of munchkins and you combine in mouth. Like chipmunk teeth.
Please don't let that ever be a direction on a recipe. Combine in mouth. To be fair, I have done the, back of the spoon gets the peanut butter, front of the spoon gets the jelly.
Sure. You're famous for it.
Yeah.
This is well-known canon of our podcast universe.
Look, it's not quite canon. Wikipedia would have it under legends.
It's legends.
Yeah.
It's legends. So sure.
Nerd right. Cut there.
I'll
also say this. Here's another thing aside from just the splitability is and you know this about me, I prefer a cake donut. And you can't make a filled cake donut.
No, you can't. I prefer a yeast donut, so at least we're in my world then, but I think I'd rather I want a classic donut.
Yeah, the image of a donut is a donut.
Yeah, it's got to have a hole in it.
Yeah.
Give me a donut. That's why the little things are called donut holes or munchkins. They're donut holes.
They're munchkins if you go to, is it Duncan calls them munchkins?
Duncan calls them munchkins. And America runs on and they used to have they would have like the baker, like some like hand-drawn baker, and the box would have one of those images that shifts based on the angle at which you view it.
Lenticular.
So sometimes, what is it called?
Lenticular.
Yeah, it was a lenticular where it's like he was walking with it and then he was maybe running with it, but there wasn't really like there was no point to it being a lenticular. It's like, well, he moved a foot. Good job.
And then you move it again and he goes right back.
Yeah, and then he goes right back. Yeah. He'll never. That's
that's his dance. That's his. I got a donut.
He's Sisyphus rolling the boulder up a hill.
Oh my god. Or Tantalus reaching for a donut and it's always just out of his reach.
Exactly. But he's reaching.
Of course, if he was Tantalus, he'd also be waiting in coffee, and every time he'd lean down to take a sip, it would lower.
It would lower, yeah.
It always made me laugh that Dunkin' Donuts, that their slogan was after their previous one was Dunkin' Donuts, the world's best coffee. Because to me, it's like you have one product in your name. Yes, you sell coffee, and it's very good coffee, but that's not what your name is selling. It'd be like if Starbucks, if their slogan was Starbucks, the world's best kitschy mugs. It's like, yeah, you have kitschy mugs, but that's not your thing is kitschy mugs.
Starbucks, we do paninis right.
Starbucks, the world's best hard-boiled eggs. What? All right.
Prepackaged hard-boiled eggs are the grossest thing.
Yeah.
So what's your decision, guys?
Donuts, regular donuts. Yes.
Yeah, regular donuts. Asked and answered.
Yeah, asked and answered.
This is one for we're gonna get through at least 2 topics.
We will
in this hour. This is good for these quarantines. From Greg on the Facebook group, we got
what's up, Greg?
Best Jackbox game. Since you guys have played
Oh,
a fair
come
bit of
on.
Jackbox games,
There's no
Yes.
question. There's a
why don't
clear
you
winner.
do a 1, 2, 3 and see if you both agree it's no question?
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Quiplash.
The one with the t-shirts.
Oh my god.
I do love Quiplash. I think it probably is Quiplash, but I played a regular Monday night game, and there's a game. There's one in, I think it's like Jackbox 2 or Jackbox 3. I have it on this computer.
Party Pack
where you-
3 is the t-shirt game.
Yeah, it has a t-shirt game where you do a bunch of dumb drawings and then you write a bunch of weird phrases, and then they're combined. You have to combine somebody else's drawing and somebody else's catchphrase to make the best t-shirt possible. Then they go up against one another and everybody votes on which one they like, and whichever one wins at the very end, actually all of them, you can go onto their online store and buy the shirts from the game, which is
pretty great.
brilliant.
I almost bought one the last time we played because I had a few beers while we were playing.
We do have someone asking, can you give a quick description of what a Jackbox game is to anyone who's unfamiliar with it?
So Jackbox games are this company Jackbox that used to make the game You Don't Know Jack. They have, which is a trivia game. They have a very cool thing that I love, and I know a lot of my friends love, and Hal, you regularly play, where you use your phone as your controller for the game. Everyone links to the same web page, so you're all connected. And on a television in the room, or in the case of Zoom, on a separate screen or a shared screen, there is a sort of live game show happening. And you, with your phone, are a contestant on this game show. I'll say that Quiplash is my personal favorite, but also it might not be for everyone, because Quiplash is designed, it's like writing your own Cards Against Humanity. If you are if you're a person with a mind that does that fairly easily, it's great. But like, play a Jackbox game with my mom, and the prompt will be like, what's the worst thing ever? And she'd be like, oh, poverty. You're like, well, that's okay. That's not the point in the game. So I get that for some people, but I think the t-shirt one is a much more accessible one because it jumbles all of the funny ideas up. There's no real ownership of any of it. But they're like, the stakes feel higher in Quiplash.
Yeah, I think Quiplash ultimately is the best game because it's got the highest potential for comedy, and you get to do it multiple times. The t-shirt one, you design them that it takes a while. They're like 2 rounds, but the rounds take a long time. Now you're laugh the whole time. The trick is to play with a bunch of comedians.
That's the thing. The people that I regularly play Quiplash with are like comedy writers, and in New York it was a writer for Elle and a novelist. Like, these people, like, words are their medium. So, you get some pretty great stuff.
Yeah.
I love Quiplash so much. There's also Trivia Murder Party.
Yes, Trivia Murder Party is also
which
great.
is a
that
lot
one
of
anybody can play.
Anybody can play. It's a lot of fun. It's more about the game being funny than the players being funny. But it's a great game. But I think it's Quiplash. I think Quiplash is like, there's a reason that a version of Quiplash is included in all of the Jackbox packs.
That's true. It's Quiplash, asked and answered.
Done.
Thank you, Greg.
So we got another one from the Facebook group.
Great.
Yeah.
Rebecca Pridmore.
What's up, Rebecca?
Hey, Rebecca.
Best part of the non-working day, daylight or nighttime?
Ooh.
Is it?
So let's say what would be a traditional weekend, your day off.
Yes.
Do you enjoy the day part of your day off or the night part of your day off?
I mean, for me, I think it's the day part. Like, but I live in Southern California. We got sunshine pretty much all the time. You go outside, there's beautiful, I mean, right now it's tougher, but there's beautiful parks and beaches and like a million great things to do during the day. There's something about vitamin D too, I think, like getting that sunshine in.
Has that changed then since you moved to LA? What was the best part of your day when you were in New York?
No, New York was the same way because I like going out, but New York nights are fun. I do love bars. I love bars, and I love me some Maurice Crisis, and I never was at Maurice Crisis during the day.
Isn't New York kind of the same every single night of the week outside of Mondays when
In
the
Times
equity
Square,
houses
it's
close?
just as bright.
Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
always like, but like it's not like the bars close at 10 p.m. on some days, and people
Mm-mm.
don't really go out on a Thursday night in New York.
No,
Like they're
everybody
always
goes out
like,
all the time because nobody
Exactly.
drives, so everybody's drunk all the time.
I think there's something to what you're saying about the daytime though, because that is normally a time when you have to work. In the evening, unless you work odd or off hours, if you work a traditional office job, you're done by the evening. So you could turn your evenings into your own, maybe go to bed a little earlier if you're being responsible. But there's something to, hey, it's 11 a.m. and either I just woke up or I have nowhere to be, or I can do things that are completely things that I want to do. That feels more like freedom. That's what I look forward to. Like I can't wait to wake up and have the early part of the day tomorrow to not have to work.
Yeah,
Like that is the pleasure of it to me.
I would agree. I'd say I don't even work an office job, but I'd say a day off. Like you have 7 nights off really a week, but you only get 1 or 2 days off, right?
That's right. That's right.
Hal, I love
Excellent
that there's a
answer.
banjo behind you.
So,
There is a banjo.
someone in the comments would like you to play that at some point in this stream, Hal.
I can't. The banjo's out of tune, and I don't know how to play it. I got that for Jennifer's gift. I will play the guitar. I'll play the
Ooh,
guitar at some point.
yeah.
That
It
was
won't
not
be
the
great,
request,
but-
though. The request was specifically the banjo.
You know what? You get what you get, and you don't get upset.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
You're
Dave Hoffman
Hi, Dave.
Dave, Dr. Dave.
asks, cannoli or tiramisu?
That's tough. Italian desserts.
Oh, they both suck.
You don't like how? These are desserts, and you don't
know.
like them?
I know.
Why do you hate my people?
I mean, where do I start?
I
No,
think. No, go ahead. Sorry.
I would say for me, generally, and like a chocolate chip cannoli is good. Cannolis for me are not as sweet. I always expect it to be a little bit sweeter, and the ragut is not as sweet.
Mhm.
Tiramisu, is that Italian for wet cake?
Hal, here's the thing.
It's so wet.
I know you don't drink, and what it is soaked with is rum.
What?
So you're
Did I get
generally
drunk off dessert.
so you're not. Yeah, I know, right? I know. Yeah. Sorry, it's unavoidable.
Why? It happened to me.
But I prefer a cannoli, I think, to tiramisu because you've got frequently they're overfilled, I think. Like it's like getting a cupcake that has a giant tower of mascarpone icing on or frosting on top of it. Like here's this and then here's the thing. Like the cake part, the fried dough roller part of a cannoli is I would appreciate it if the ratio were a little better between the filling and the cannoli, but I
Right.
think that there's more textures, there's more going on with a cannoli. It's a little more exciting. The filling, you can get multiple different kinds. A tiramisu, yeah, it's always going to be a wet rum flavored or anisette flavored.
Yeah, or anisette or espresso.
And
sometimes
espresso,
they'll
yeah, it's
soak
like
it in.
well, espresso is another one of the flavors in it. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's a cannoli. I like them better, and I think objectively it's a cannoli because you can take it walking. You can't really take a tiramisu walking.
Yeah.
It's good street food in New York. Like you're not really going to get a street tiramisu, but you can get is it cannolo or cannolis for a single? I don't want cannoli. I just want a cannolis.
Yeah, I would. Yeah,
I want a cannoli.
Yeah,
Render
yeah,
unto
exactly.
Caesar, his cannolis.
That's
yeah.
that's like the Italian American thing of just dropping the ends of words. Prosciutto.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
want a
regat-
cannoli.
Yeah, rigot.
And then
Menegot.
gabagool.
Yeah.
Guess how gabagool is spelled, everybody.
Yeah, capicola.
Capicola.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's not that the rum that's the problem with me. It's like it's a soggy piece of cake. You don't want your cake. You should sog it up in your mouth. You mix in your mouth.
Gross. Do you like tres leches cake or or bread pudding? Because those are both just soggy cake.
Bread pudding's a little different, and monkey bread to me is a little bit different for some reason because they're, you know what it is, they're usually covered in something, like the cream is a part of it, as opposed to like it just shows up. the difference between something that where you can see what is making it wet on top versus like if you reach for toilet paper in a public restroom and it's wet, you're like, this is terrible.
Look,
First
of all, don't compare one of the great desserts of my people to reaching for toilet paper in a public restroom and it's wet.
Also, why are you reaching before looking? It's right there. You can see if it's wet.
Why is it wet?
Why are we looking? Sometimes it's hidden, Ken. Sometimes you just see the little tongue like hanging down like this, and you pull it, and then that's wet.
We were talking about delicious Italian desserts. Now we're talking about wet toilet tongues. What is happening?
What does that tell you about Italian desserts?
How dare you? It's the cannoli. Yes.
Yeah, it is cannoli. Asked and answered. It's really all of these tasty cakes behind me.
Oh my god. Dude, also, I've looked at so many pictures of Philadelphia this week. I've been going through my photos library on Apple and deleting a bunch of stuff and going through it and resorting. I have so many photos of the 1940s and 50s mummers parades. I'll have to send you some of them.
Yes, please.
Pretty great.
I'd love to see those.
Yeah.
Just to clarify the banjo request from earlier, Hal, he wants to specify that it's Carter who's asking you to play.
Carter Parton Rogers is asking you to play her banjo.
Rogers asking me to play?
Carter McFadden.
Oh, Carter McFadden
is who is asking you to play the banjo.
Nice try, Carter. Carter's somebody I play 2K with on the PlayStation.
Carter's name is awesome and sounds like a lot.
Carter's got a great screen name on PlayStation. It's Shamalahaya.
Ooh.
I don't know what that is.
That's Shia LaBeouf's cousin.
You're going to have to reach a level of enlightenment.
Shamalahaya LaBeouf.
Shamalahaya LaBeouf. Shamalahaya LaBeouf to all of you.
Avery Krause.
What's up, Avery?
Avery.
And your topic is hot dog, all beef or traditional mixed meat? I know you've got opinions on this.
Traditional mixed meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like an Oscar Mayer wiener. That's not specified all beef, which is why they had to start specifying things like all beef on packages.
I got to say, for me, it's all about the 100% all beef kosher dog. Both a perfect New York hot dog and a perfect Chicago dog start with that.
Yep.
So
I agree.
Don't get it
twisted.
Mixed meat. No, it's like Scrapple. It's like reading the ingredients in Scrapple.
Yeah, I don't like Scrapple.
Why would you do that?
You don't like Scrapple?
Why would you read the ingredients?
You have, I'm not.
Should know.
If you're curious and you feel you have to read to know what's in it, don't eat it. If you're that concerned that there may be things in here I might be surprised by, then just avoid it.
Well, then I wouldn't be able to have a Kinder Egg.
Yeah.
I like having something in the middle I'm surprised by.
We live on the edge.
That's right. And in the case of a tiramisu, even though you shouldn't be surprised, that thing that you get, wet toilet paper.
The wettest of toilet paper.
So gross. All right.
Next topic.
We're rapid firing now. We're on it.
Yeah.
Shelly Godfriend asks,
hey, what's up, Shelly?
Shelly.
Top sheet on your bed, yay or nay?
Yay.
Sure.
Yeah, it comes as a set, though. There are times that I crawl into bed and I pull the comforter back, but not the top sheet. And I'm like, I'll just get in it anyway. It's fine. And I'm like, I'm tired. I don't have time to mess with it. Or if I'm like super tired.
And you're fully dressed because you're drunk.
Every once in a while. But it makes it way easier to make the bed in the morning. I'm like, oh, sweet. All I have to do is move the blanket back up. But the point of the top sheet is that like you wash the sheets. You don't wash the comforter as often. Right? Isn't that the point of it?
No, you should probably wash all of it, buddy. You're gonna sweat through that sheet.
Why?
The stink will transfer.
First of all, I don't sweat when I sleep unless
yes, you do.
Unless the fan's off.
Also, Mark's way of making the bed is getting up and smoothing out where he.
Hey,
no, Mark is fastidious.
I'm fastidious when it comes to making.
Are you hospital corners?
Yeah, I'm hospital corners. My mom taught me how to do them when I was in high school.
Yeah.
But yeah, the top. You wash your comforter every time you wash your sheets.
Well, I use a blanket. I don't live in New England in January.
Or your blanket. I have a quilt on mine. I say comforter, but
it's yeah. I've
you wash them all together.
Yeah, they'll fit in the washing machine. Or
I wash the blanket like because I don't have a washing machine at home, and don't you have to use like the big industrial, because it's like a thick quilt. So I use that. Like I wash that probably once every 3 weeks, and I wash the sheets once a week. So like
That's not bad.
third time washing the sheets, I'll wash the comforter.
That's not bad. And you are pretty neat. You're a pretty neat and tidy person.
Yeah.
But I like a top sheet because it will cool you off initially if you're a little hot, but then eventually it gives you an extra layer of insulation against the air outside if you turn the air conditioner on, which I do. I like it cold at night because you're supposed to burrow, and then you pull the blanket up. And then
you're supposed to. Don't tell people how they're supposed to sleep.
You're supposed to.
You're supposed to. Have you ever short sheeted anyone?
Supposed to. Yeah, we did. When my cousin Philip, it's his birthday today. He's not watching this, but happy birthday, Philip.
Happy birthday, Philip.
During his wedding, during the reception, a bunch of us snuck up to his room and like short sheeted his bed, including his father, my uncle.
Nice.
We all we just as many pranks as possible in the bridal suite of the hotel.
Brilliant.
Including short sheeting.
Short sheeting, for those who don't know, is when you take the top sheet on a bed and you fold it in a certain way and tuck it in a certain way that when someone lifts up the covers to crawl into the bed, their feet do not go all the way to the bottom of the bed. And it is a thoroughly frustrating, like, you ever where that feeling where you can't get comfortable in the sheets? It is the absolute worst version of that. And you're like, now I have to get up because these idiots short sheeted me. And it is, I love it.
Who did your brother do it to you?
No, we never did it growing up. We didn't do it till we were older, just like as a prank. No, what my brother would do growing up is he would go in my room and fart on my pillow. If he had a big fart, he would go sit on my bed and fart on my pillow.
Sure he would.
Yeah.
Don't you wish you had siblings?
To every hotel room that we stayed in on vacation growing up. He would go in the room, he would christen the bathroom, and then he would go fart on the pillows because he was because that's my brother.
Ate chili.
Yeah, he owned that all the time.
It's great that he owns a barbecue place now.
Yeah, right.
Does it to every batch of barbecue.
And he's a vegan.
It's amazing. He's fueling the next generation of pillow farters.
Exactly. He's like, look, I can't do it anymore. I'm done with meat. But you guys go to town.
Why is that what your brother sounds like?
I don't know. This is just my gruff brother. He sounds like this now.
Hey there.
That sounds like a guy who fart on pillows.
No, my brother has a good falsetto though. Yeah. My brother's McGruff, the crime dog.
Yeah.
No, Gabe has a great falsetto. When he gets upset, everything is this. It's really fun. All right. But yes, to the top sheet. Yes.
Correct. Yes.
Right. I'm gonna switch my background up. I'm leaving our office. I'm gonna go somewhere else.
By the way, somebody in the chat commented on just your background, asking why Mark was in the Happiness Hotel.
Well, do not realize that this is Ken's background.
Ken,
you know what? I'll be out on the lanai.
There you go.
Yeah.
Ken, are you having a steering wheel for dinner tonight?
This podcast only gets you as far as the lobby.
Well, there's no fire in the fireplace. There's no blankets on the floor. Don't try to order dinner. There's no kitchen anymore.
After it's been kind of bumpy and you need to set a spell,
then welcome home to the Happiness Hotel. Oh, that song. And that glass. Do you have that glass, Hal?
Should I go get it?
Yeah. People don't know what the Happiness Hotel is.
What's great is, Hal, is the point that you got up to was where the banjo solo would have been, which Hal could have tried for us.
Could have reached behind you, picked up that banjo, Hal.
Dun.
You could have done that for Carter, but no.
No. So explain what the Happiness Hotel is, Mark, to everyone who doesn't know.
For those who don't know, it's from the very wonderful movie, The Great Muppet Caper, the best of the Muppet movies. Officially. Yeah. Oh, I love that glass. I had that glass as a kid. That was the bus that they all rode in the Happiness Hotel, or the bus that the hotel owned. And it was just a rundown, ramshackle hotel in London. It was amazing.
Rizzo's about to die.
And did that introduce Rizzo?
No. Oh, well, the Muppet Show.
The Muppet Show introduced Rizzo?
Yeah.
No.
But that was the first film that he had a substantial part. Well, they were the bellhops.
Right. And then they were the
short order cooks. Rat Scat in
Rat
Muppets
Scat.
Take Manhattan.
That's right. You're the king, Ken. All right, what else? What else we got?
So this ties into something you guys have been doing recently, which if people don't
Great.
know, we should say that as members of the Thrilling Adventure cast, you've been doing a series of fundraisers over
Yeah.
the past month and a half.
$30,000 plus so far for food banks in New York, Chicago, DC, or New York, Chicago, Seattle, and Chicago. New York,
You've done 3
Chicago,
so far, right?
LA, and Seattle.
But you've done
Yes.
3
And New York.
live
Yeah.
shows so far.
That's correct.
Live
We're doing
streaming.
We have another one coming up on May 25th.
Has that been
So-
announced?
Maybe. Yes, now.
Look, there's more coming.
There's more coming.
Yeah.
Maybe on May 25th.
So since this will never be answered in a full episode,
Mhm.
and I'll put you on the spot here for this clean slate, Nicole Horning
Okay.
asks,
Uh-oh.
Frank or Sadie Doyle?
Impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's not what this show is about.
No, we can't answer that. Come on.
Yeah. Even they couldn't. Frank would say Sadie, and Sadie would say Frank.
Yeah.
Or one of you says one and the other says the other.
And then
that's-
Hodgman has to adjudicate
Yeah.
it on.
And then that's how we get back on Judge John Hodgman.
you know what this.
That's what this is.
You know what the Supreme Court, in addition to deciding cases, does
Listens
decides
to
whether
people
to
pee.
take the cases. listens to Stephen Breyer P.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's who the culprit was.
Oh, really? It was Stephen Breyer?
Turns out it was. That's what the theory is. I think from Politico. Yeah.
You just heard like, oh, I Stephen Breyer, am urinating.
Yeah.
Oh.
Isn't it? And then he leaned in the mirror and went, "What have you done? Killed them all, of course." Tell me you guys saw that. The Nick, not the Nick. What was the name of it?
The knack?
No, the guy who, the guy with the murder eyes who, you know the guy I'm talking about. They
I know
a
what you're talking
special
about.
on to see if he
The
had
one,
committed this
who
murder.
is
And
the
then
one who
while
was
he was
parodied.
being interviewed,
Yeah.
while he was
He was
being
parodied
interviewed,
as
he
Fred
got up and went to
Armisen
the
on
bathroom.
Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
That I
Nope.
didn't see.
I don't know that.
Oh, Hal, this story is great. He's being interviewed and he's being interviewed saying, I didn't commit these murders. I didn't commit these murders. And then at one point he gets up and goes to the bathroom on a break from filming and leaves his mic on and doesn't realize his mic's on. And I guess is sitting on the toilet or looking himself in the mirror and goes, "What have you done?" I mean, killed them all, of course. And you're like, whoa, he just confessed to himself in the mirror on a hot mic. Yeah.
Robert Durst.
Robert Durst.
Oh, it was Robert Durst. Okay.
What was the name of that show? Do you remember?
Yes.
Somebody's yelling it right now at their computer screen,
Yes.
but I can't hear you.
It's called Serial, season 4.
Ooh, but it's spelled Cereal.
It's spelled Capicola.
Yeah. Gabagool.
Yeah.
All
We got
right,
time
what's
for
next?
One more?
Next topic is Sarah Varian.
Yes.
There you go. This,
Hi,
this,
Sarah.
this-
By the way, I'm sorry that we've finally been stumped. There is a question we cannot answer. We have finally gotten stumped.
hey, for everyone who's continually asking thrilling adventure questions, we tried,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
You can't say we didn't try, and they are just perfect gentlemen.
You know, we'll save all the Thrilling Adventure Hour questions, and we'll bring Acker and Blacker on and make them decide.
Yeah.
They have answers. You know that they
Of
have
course they do.
they won't hold back.
That's right.
Sarah Varian asks best Pitch Perfect movie.
The
This is
first
embarrassing.
one.
I haven't seen any of them.
It's the first one. The third one is great because Hodgman's in it, and I saw that one in New Zealand when we were done
Mhm.
with the tour in 2015. We had like Jennifer and I were like, let's just go see a movie. That's what we felt like doing. So we went to see a movie, and it was Pitch Perfect 3, and did not know Hodgman was in it. Then he appeared, and it was delightful. And I texted
That's a
him
nice
to-
treat.
to tell him how nice it was to see him. I think they're all enjoyable, but the first one, it's the first one. It's the best one. You get diminishing returns as the series goes on, but they're all good movies. I think they're good in order.
Great. I defer to you in this. They've all been on my list for a long time. I'm embarrassed to say I haven't seen them. I mean,
Well, you got time.
Kay Cannon was one of my teachers at Second City who wrote and directed them.
The great Kay Cannon.
The great Kay Cannon, excuse me. But generally the first is always the best one,
Yeah,
except Empire.
that's right. And
So since we
Godfather.
couldn't get the Frank or Sadie Doyle out of
Mhm.
you two, you're going to have to do a decision on this one.
Well, look, if this is another one about thrilling,
No,
adventure,
it's not. It's not. I wouldn't do that to you. It's
Okay.
not. This is Cindy Anderson Ryan.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi, Cindy.
And the question is Ernie or Bert?
Ernie. Bert's a stick in the mud.
Yeah, Ernie's the more fun one.
Yeah.
And he collects
Easy.
paper clips. What on earth is that?
Yeah. That's a serial killer, is what that is.
He's got his rubber ducky.
So you're not going to get into the pigeon fetish?
Don't you think Bert is more of a serial killer because he keeps pigeons?
Yeah, that's true.
No, you're my friends. You're
Yeah,
my
it's
real friend. One day we'll get rid of Ernie and you'll move in.
usually it's just I thought Bert was the one that collected paper clips. It's Ernie.
No, that's Ernie.
Ernie has the rubber ducky.
They did that Gifts of the Magi where
No, it's Bert.
Does Bert also collect paper
Bert
clips?
collects paper clips.
Bert's the one who collects paper clips, and that was the gift of the
what a
Magi.
snore.
Is that Bert
Yeah.
traded his paper clips to get a soap dish for Ernie to put his rubber duck in, and Ernie traded his rubber duck for a cigar box for Bert to put his paper clips in.
And then
Yeah.
they murdered each other.
Yeah.
We're on Bert and Ernie number 4 right now.
Why are you doing
Bert
this?
also
I can tell you,
Don't
I
do
can
it,
tell you
Bert.
what
Don't do
what
it.
nobody got Bert for Christmas one year was a trip to a
Eyebrow shaver.
salon to take the care
Yeah.
of that thing, right?
Exactly.
Come on, buddy. Yeah, Ernie's the fun, cool one, and Bert's the stick in the mud.
How he collects paper clips.
It's
like,
Ernie.
Like you cannot make How did I forget that the guy who doesn't even own pigeons, just sort of hangs out with them on the roof of their brownstone, also collects paper clips.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, man. Serial killer behavior.
Oh,
Yeah, it's Ernie. Asked and answered.
yeah, asked and answered.
Lucy Peratt.
Mhm.
Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Sorry, Lucy, if I'm not.
Hello, Lucy.
Hi, Lucy.
Early bird or night owl?
Similar to previous, I'm an early bird.
For dinner, early bird.
Yeah, you get there at 5, sometimes
Mhm.
4:50 if you want to get the good table. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. What do you think, Hal? I feel like for me, the best ideas seem to come at night, but early bird is sort of an invigorating start to a day.
Well, the freaks come out at night. If we
Mhm.
learn nothing else from the early days of hip hop, it's that. But I think that I'm more of an early bird, but I also will stay up too late. I don't
Yeah.
get enough sleep is the thing. No, I tend to get up early. I like having time in the morning before now I don't have to commute, but so I have a little more time before I start work. I can sort of have time to myself. The evening is what it is, and then when I'm tired, I just go to sleep. There's no I don't I'm old enough now that I don't feel like I've accomplished anything when I've stayed up until 2 in the morning. Like if it's
But
10
you
or
know,
11
in
and I'm
our
tired, I go to bed.
in our days of doing comedy shows at night, like
Mhm.
you know, those are some of my most memorable times have been at 3 o'clock in the morning after a show in a diner. You know what I mean?
No, that's true.
Um,
I'm not slagging night owls. Ken is a
Right.
night owl. Ken doesn't. I don't think Ken sleeps enough.
Ken, do you get enough sleep, Pumpkin?
How much do you sleep?
Huh?
How much do you sleep?
Sorry, he
over
fell asleep
one
right
night?
there.
I don't know. 5 hours.
That's not enough. You need more sleep, Ken. Go to bed. Grab your Donald off your mic stand.
One time at Dragon Con, we were all it was me and him and Aaron were sitting and talking. And this was Monday. Everything was over. We were just sitting and talking. And I was flying out Tuesday. It was the only year I flew out on Tuesday. We're talking, and then we both look over at Ken, who is like this.
In the middle of your conversation.
Yeah, and then we were like, Ken, why don't you get some sleep? He's like, no, I'm fine. I'm gonna go pack for 5 hours and not
God.
sleep. But his body was begging him for sweet, sweet rest.
And then I probably drove down to Florida the next day.
And then you
did
drove to Florida.
Invariably drive to Florida the next day. Well, look, you're almost there. You're in Atlanta.
Yeah. I mean, it's that close. You can't not go.
I do think that there is Like mornings are great. Mornings are fun to have to yourself. It's nice. You can find a good routine. I think more magic happens at night.
Yeah. You don't think a
think so.
sunrise is magical?
I think a sunrise is magical. But so
You
is a
can do that
sunset.
without going to sleep.
That's true. That can be a really late night. I
That's
think
how you
it's
end the
night
night,
owl.
Hal.
It is true that like the memorable moments are like we stayed up all night. One of
Yeah.
my favorite memories when Jennifer and I were first dating, it was the first time she came to Philadelphia. No, maybe the second time she came to Philadelphia. Jennifer, when did we stay up all night? Was that the second time you came to Philly? Yeah, so the second time she came to Philly.
I love that we
my
can't
dad-
hear her. We just,
Jennifer, when was
Yeah.
the third time you went to Philly?
oh my God.
Jennifer,
Which-
can I remember anything anymore?
By the way, Ken, you turning around, I guarantee there's a character back there named Jennifer.
Yeah.
There's
There are at least
definitely
4
a
Jennifers on that
Jennifer
desk.
somewhere in there.
We'll go on a Jennifer hunt later.
So Jennifer, my dad picked us up at the airport on like the evening, and then we drove down the Jersey Shore, where my mother was waiting. Then we went to a casino, played cards, got back. It was like 1 a.m. We walked to the local store, got some groceries and stuff, and then stayed up till the morning and made breakfast together. That was a special thing where we weren't early birds. That was like a night owl, and that's a really great memory. So I think you make a really good point that night owl is where where a lot of the memorable things happen. You feel better as an early bird, like, hey, I got up early, I achieved stuff. But when you're on your deathbed at a nice old age, you think back on memories, not like I got up at 7 a lot, or I got up at 6 a lot. You remember the impactful moments. So I think it is night owl.
Dragon Con is one of those great examples of it. Like we had some nights at Dragon Con where I'm like, oh, I'm sitting at a table right now of legends. I can't go to bed while I'm getting some science dropped by, some of my comedy heroes. Like, and all that stuff happens at night when everybody's day is winding down.
Oh, Hal will leave.
Hal just leaves.
Hal goes, like,
look,
gotta get my rest.
Here's my caveat. When I'm tired and it's beddy by time, I'm going to bed.
All right. Do it.
I'll make my memories. I'll make plenty of memories. I also do not want to feel like I'm dead the next day. I don't want to be like Ken on Monday night in Atlanta.
But but I had all those nights
driving to Disney World. Just
Hal, I had all those nights beforehand though, before that Monday night hit. So that Monday night of doing that was worth it because I didn't leave all the other nights before it. All I'm saying is there were plenty of nights that Mark and I could have come down to wake you up and go, there's something cool going on, Mark. Come on.
There were plenty of nights that Ken stopped me from doing that.
Yeah, there were.
No, he's sleeping. But Hal needs to know.
No, you can't know. You don't understand.
Door.
He'll be so angry.
You can always knock on my door.
We don't want angry Hal.
But yeah, surprisingly, it's night owl. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Asked and answered.
By a couple of early risers. It's night owl.
We have to,
so
Mark,
I think
you have to go.
Yeah, we got a hard out on Mark.
One more, it's up to you.
Let's do one more. I got one more in me.
One more. We go one more. And then we got it, but we gotta go.
Then we gotta go.
But we got
and you're gonna play Mark off with that guitar, right? You made a promise, Hal.
Yes, let me get the guitar.
Okay.
So I'm ready.
Okay. Waiting for Hal to come back.
I'm here. I don't think
Is this gonna be? You do play guitar, right? This isn't like Ken's magic trick where he makes you sit at a table for 20 minutes.
Whoa! Wait a minute!
Says,
Wait a minute! You don't ruin. You do
trick.
not ruin my trick, Mark.
It's not a trick. It's
no. That's not nice. Don't ruin the trick. Don't destroy the magic.
If Ken asks you if you want to see a magic trick,
you say yes.
Say no.
You say yes. You know what? You experienced it. Why ruin it for other people?
Because I experienced it.
We're going to go on to another topic. Are you ready? You too.
Yeah.
This is from Kristen Kelly.
Hi, Kristen.
And this is an either or. We'll see.
I like my binaries. I like my non-binaries too, but I like my binaries.
Sugar or spice?
Spice.
And everything nice. Really?
Sugar is one thing that tastes sweet. Spice is a planet worth of things.
Is there?
I heard a great bit of advice that was when you travel, don't buy keychains and trinkets that you're going to forget. Buy spices that you can only get in the place that you're in.
Get seasonings,
Yeah, smells are nostalgic for me. Like as a cook, I mean, sugar is a staple, but spice is it's spice. Like spices, like it's not just, the word doesn't just mean physical spices. It means, flavor and excitement, and I think it's spice. Hal?
Do you think there's any individual spice that is better than sugar?
Interesting. See, it's weird. It feels like apples and oranges to me. Because sugar, it's one thing. It's sweet. It hits one taste bud. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But well then take a different approach. Which could you do without completely in your life?
Sugar. I have for years. Not currently, but when I was on a really strict no carb diet, I didn't have sugar for like 3 years. But I couldn't live without spices. There's sucralose and saccharin and Splenda and all of those. There's no substitute for cinnamon and cloves and cumin and you know what I mean? Like,
don't say coriander. Don't you dare say coriander. Don't say
why? What's wrong with coriander?
Because it's cilantro in disguise.
It's cilantro in disguise. Oh yes,
coriander's great.
Yes,
if you smell a jar of coriander, it smells like Fruit Loops. Try it if you have one.
No, just get Fruit Loops.
Prior to a stroke? What is?
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spice. I think it's spice. Asked and answered.
Okay. And here you go.
Yeah, he did it.
There you go.
This was great. Thank you guys. This was super fun as always.
Yes. Thanks to all of you. Thank you, Ken, for compiling this.
Amen. Thank you, Ken. You are, as always, the best producer in the business. These topics are closed, but there are many more topics to discuss. So please reach out to us on Twitter at We Got This Tweets. Check out the Maximum Fun subreddit, or
email us at wegotThisPodcast@gmail.com, or go to facebook.com/group/We Got This Podcast. Thank you, Ken Plume. Thank you, Kate McManus, Uri Kelman, Jen Alba.
And thank you to our musicians, Jonathan Dinerstein and Mike Furman, for our score and theme song, respectively. And thanks to you, the people of the world, for joining us out here on the lanai to have a little fun today and take our mind off of all the insanity that's going on and talk about what's really important in the world.
Yeah.
So thank you. For Hal Lublin, I'm Mark Gagliardi.
For Mark Gagliardi, I'm Hal Lublin. And don't worry, everybody.
We got this.